Hi, it's Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome to Career Coach Office Hours. Tuesdays at noon Eastern, I like to spend about a half hour answering questions from job hunters because, frankly, I believe that it doesn't have to be quite that hard, difficult, painful, or take as long as it does. It's just the skills needed to find the job are different from those needed to do a job. It's really that simple. And most of you go to interviews and you kind of recite a bunch of facts and don't really sell yourself all that well. And you've never practiced for your interviews and you wonder why you don't get hired. It's really pretty simple. So I answer questions from people about job search on Tuesdays at midday. So if you've got a question for me, put it into chat so I can answer it live. Okay. So again, I'm here for about a half hour to answer your questions. Put them into chat so I can answer them live. I also want to mention connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/ the big game hunter. Mention that you saw this. I like knowing I'm helping some folks. And once we're connected, your network is going to be a lot larger. I also want to mention to you JobSearch.Community. Now, I realized, or people have informed me recently, that they didn't understand the site and what its intention was. Let me try and clear it up for you. I help people with job search, and you can hire me to coach you through the site. And I offer different options for what you can buy me for. And in addition, I'm offering content there. Video courses, books, guides, things I charge for individually elsewhere are all aggregated into one price. So you're basically contacting me for coaching and you're getting a lot more so that you can use your coaching wisely. And secondly, from the standpoint of what helps you, you're able to do things without always having to talk to me. It saves you money in that regard. So again, come to jobsearch.community. Join now. I've got free stuff there, so you can download the free content. But I'm also going to mention that what you can also do is become an insider, Insider Plus member, Insider Premium member, Insider 30, Insider 60, Insider Bundle. I've got options for you that at the lowest level, you get the video content that you message me through the site, or as you progress up the ladder, there's more content from, not more contact with me that will help you. So again, that's jobsearch.community. Now, I want to start off with an apology. And the apology is 3 weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago, because last week I needed to miss the show because a neighbor of mine died and I went to attend the funeral for him. I think it was 3 weeks ago, I mentioned that the current jobs report, the one that just came out on Friday, was going to be horrible. And I was wrong. I want to explain why I was wrong, because there was something I didn't know about when the Bureau of Labor Statistics closes on its data. And what I learned subsequently was the report said 150,000 new jobs. However, what I didn't know, excuse me, is that they close out on the data on the 12th of the month, February 12th to be exact. So federal government layoffs hadn't hit at that point, and they won't show up until next month's report. So I'll simply say that's the one that's going to be bad, because we all know there have been lots of layoffs that have taken place since the beginning of February. As a matter of fact, ADP came out with, Challenger Gray and Christmas, an outplacement firm, came out with a report indicating that they saw an uptick in layoffs by about a third in the month of February. So we know that there are job losses that get factored in. And the only question is whether this is going to be a negative jobs report or not. I hope it isn't, because I'm also starting to see something new that I haven't seen in a long time. And that is not just simply one or two notices of people landing new jobs, but more. I don't want to say a lot more, but it's noticeable to me. And the result is firms are doing some hiring now. And you got to get yourself to market. You got to push yourself to get out there, because the fact is, companies are hiring. They've got budget. They're spending money. Get out there, talk to people, network and connect, so that in this way you have a shot at getting more interviews. You get a shot at, landing your next role. And I'll simply say, get out there and talk to people. Okay. So that's my advice for today. I received a number of questions in advance of the show, and I'll just simply mention again, if you've got a question for me, put it into chat so I can answer it live, okay? So this was the first one I received, and I probably got this before what would have been last week's show. So it's a little long. As a matter of fact, I'm seeing it's getting posted in 3 parts. So excuse me if it looks a little messy. I'm currently in week 4 of the interview process for a job I really want. I've had the following: a phone interview, an in-person interview with the president, a design challenge, and 2 additional in-person interviews with department heads. Everything has gone really well, and even received great responses on my follow-up thank you emails. I sent the follow-up email to the president the Friday after my Wednesday interview and have not heard back. Should I follow up again today? So just following the dates, last Friday, today's Tuesday. Yes, you should follow up. Now, the follow-up can take a variety of forms, but the simplest one is to say something to the effect of, "Hi, it's been great interviewing with you. I want to know about next steps in the process. Are you ready to make a decision? Are you still evaluating? Some firms have been approaching me about 2nd and 3rd interviews, but I really like your opportunity. You tell me, what should I do?" And they're going to say, "Well, why would you consider still talking with us?" And the answer is going to be, because I really like the opportunity that you have here. I'd really like to come to work for your firm. And from that, they have a choice to make. And one choice is procrastinate. Another choice is tell you the truth as to whether or not you're still under consideration, whether or not they're thinking, they're still talking to people, et cetera, et cetera. So the long and the short of it is, yes, follow up today. No pressure, no anger, no attitude. Just simply politely follow up. Okay. I've got more questions I received. What do employers look for in a resume in 2025? You may have seen an eye roll from me, and I'll just simply say that's because it's a really basic question. What do they look for in a resume in 2025? The same thing they always look for in a resume. They look for someone who they think can do the job that they need to have done, can solve the problem they have, can inspire confidence that they're the solution to an issue that they have. Again, firms hire, confidence is one thing they look for. They want to see people who are self-confident, have character, with whom they have chemistry, maybe a little bit of charisma. Charismatic people always tend to do better. That you care, that they can connect with you because they want to trust you. And I'll just simply say, get out there, talk to them, reach out to them, see what they have available, see if they're still talking to other people. Casually mention, I'm following up because a couple of other firms have been approaching me about 2nd, 3rd, and final round interviews, but I'm really interested in your opportunity. And then shut up and wait for them to respond, okay? Here was a fun question I received. Should I bring my resume? Sorry, there we go. Should I bring my resume to job interviews? Normally, this is asked by a less experienced person. And thus, I'll just simply say, yes, and don't foist it on them. Notice whether or not they can bring your resume up on their system. Start with that as the premise. If they seem like they're struggling or they're fumbling around, then what it tells you is to offer them, if you like, I brought a copy of my resume with me. So if you like, I'll just go into my briefcase and hand you a copy. Sure, that'd make my life so much easier. Yeah, great. But the key thing is notice if they're having a problem, as opposed to, hi, would you like a copy of my resume? Or just handing it to them when you walk in the door, because that portrays subservience as opposed to being helpful. Remember, from their standpoint, they want to look confident as well. And thus, if you're noticing them feeling a little, presenting themselves as being a little clumsy or off or whatever it is, offer them a copy of the resume for their convenience. Okay. And let's go to another question. Is it appropriate to follow up on a job application? Bear with me for a second. Is it appropriate to follow up on a job application via email if the employer specifically requested no phone calls or emails regarding status updates? No. I don't know how more clear they could be. No is the correct answer. They don't want you to contact them. They don't want to deal with everyone that they've interviewed with who submitted a resume, the masses contacting them about a job. Have you seen my resume? God. Don't call them. They don't want to be contacted. They don't want to be emailed. Leave them alone. If they're interested, they will contact you. It's really that simple. If they aren't interested, they're not going to contact you. What is the most important thing you can do is keep looking, keep putting yourself out there so that in this way you're finding other things. Okay. Now, before I go any further, I'm just going to again mention JobSearch.Community. Go to the site, choose an option for coaching. Now, you'll see places where it says become an insider. You can do that and look at the various options. I have a button on the site that basically allows you to book a discovery call with me to evaluate me for coaching. So you can click on that and schedule a 20-minute conversation with me so that in this way you get a flavor for me and my background beyond what you already have. I want to be clear. I'm not coaching in this call. I'm answering your questions about what I do. I'm asking you questions about what you've been doing related to your job search so that in this way, when it comes time to hire me, we're ready to roll. So the long and the short of it is schedule a free discovery call with me at the site. Also, very simply, choose me to coach you. You get access to a ton of content as you do. And I have it listed on the homepage, what becomes available to you. It's hours and hours of content designed to help you so you don't have to wait for a session with me. You can get in there and start working on your own. Bear with me for 1 second. Thank you. So there we go. We're back on. I inadvertently muted my mic. I apologize. So the long and the short of it is I'm here to help. Hire me to coach you. You can do that at JobSearch.Community and then book time with me. You get access to all the content that's available. It is a lot designed to help you so you can practice asynchronously and then circle back to me. So again, that's JobSearch.Community. More questions. More questions. I have 8 rounds of interviews and take 8 weeks off so far. When do you say enough is enough? When you have an offer that you're willing to accept. That's when enough is enough. Up until that point, you're in job search mode. It is your job is to find a job. And don't get lazy because you've had 8 interviews so far. So what? You don't have 8 offers. It's that simple. You may be juggling a bunch of things concurrently. There we go. Krishna, thank you. Keep plugging. I'll just simply say keep going, because enough is enough doesn't exist until you have an offer you're willing to say yes to. Other than that, all you're doing is you're still dating. You're still talking to women or men, depending upon your preference. And thus, you don't have enough yet. You don't have enough that you're going to say yes to an offer because you don't have one yet. So keep plugging, Krishna. Keep plugging. I know it's frustrating. I know you want to just give up already, but don't give up. Keep plugging. You have other people that rely upon you. And if you need a half hour with me, you can book a half-hour session at JobSearch.Community. Let's talk there. Again, you'll get access to all my content as well, but book a half-hour session with me so that in this way I can help you. You can talk it through with me. I can support you. I can kick you in the butt if that's what you need. But the long and the short of it is, book a half hour with me at JobSearch.Community. I want to help. Okay? Good luck. I hope to see you on my calendar real soon. Is it necessary to provide a CV when applying or interviewing for a job at a specific company? Are there any consequences for not providing one, or is it simply considered bad business etiquette? So if you're applying for a job or interviewing, let's deal with applying for a job. If you don't submit a resume, the applicant tracking system is going to reject you. All they have is basic content about you, but no resume. It also takes longer for you, because what you'll be doing is entering stuff into different fields on their online application. And that takes longer than uploading a resume that can be parsed. Excuse me. And information can be filled into different fields. It's bad business. It's dumb on your part. It's lazy. And it's lazy in a dumb way because it makes you do more work. The consequence basically is no resume, generally no interview. They're not going to want to talk to you because, unfortunately, too many people in the past have lied to work their way in the door. So very simply, put yourself in their shoes for a second. Why should they talk to you? What is it about your background that should make them talk to you? Always operate from that space. And what could you do to make them want to reject you? Not giving them enough information to make a decision is the basic one. So very simply, it's dumb. It's not a question of business etiquette or not. It's dumb on your part. It's lazy on your part. Don't do it. Give them the freaking resume. So that this way they've got good information about you and what your background is and can make an intelligent choice. We've got more. And that includes, what does it mean if an employer does not respond to your job application after saying they'll be in touch about the shortlist? Excuse me. It means a couple of possibilities. One, and the worst one, is they filled the position. Then from there, the rec has been put on hold, or they're not interviewing quite yet and they're buying some time while they're trying to see if anyone else applies. A lot of this has nothing to do with you. It may be that they're not interested in you. They've changed their mind. The requirement has been pulled, and they're embarrassed to tell you after getting you all excited about it. But usually, not responding to your application after saying they'd be in touch about the shortlist. The shortlist indicates a lack of interest, or they may have gotten preoccupied with something else and they don't have the time. So they're going to stall for a little bit of time before committing to meeting with you. So the next question is, bear with me for 1 second. Here we go. Is it necessary to have both a CV and a LinkedIn profile? Yes. Let me help you understand why. And it's true for most college-educated professionals. Now, if you're a plumber, don't worry about it. LinkedIn profile is not going to be helpful to you. Probably. It may, but probably won't be. So I use that as an example of building trades. In the building trades, most people don't use LinkedIn. So the long and the short of it is, if you're a college-educated professional, you need both a resume or CV and a LinkedIn profile. Why? Resumes are for when you're the hunter. You're aggressively out there looking for something new, and you want to be able to submit your information for that job. LinkedIn lets you be both a hunter and a person who's being hunted. The place that you get hunted is your LinkedIn profile. They search for keywords, locations, and a variety of other factors that are important to them in order to select someone for their client, for their firm to interview. So the long and the short of it is, yes, have both. It does make a difference. Being hunted puts you in a more favorable light than being hunted. So get out there, be visible, and it will pay off eventually. Final question for today as of now. Bear with me for 1 second. Okay, almost there. Almost. What are some reasons why people may lie about their experience level on LinkedIn? Experience level and skills on their resume and LinkedIn profile. So the reason they do it is in order to try and get asked for an interview. So lying, to me, lying is bad business. They'll find out, or worse, you'll get hired, fail, and be fired. Doesn't make sense to me. But for you, if it does, great. On the other hand, they lie in order to get asked out. And they exaggerate rather. I don't want to use the word lie with any regularity. It's too Pinocchio-like, if you know what I mean. But the idea very simply is they lie in order to have an opportunity to be interviewed. And maybe once they get past the first person, maybe they'll get past the second or the third, and receive the offer that they're going to accept. So they lie in order to get interviewed. But you already knew that, didn't you? So I hope you found this helpful. I'm Jeff Altman. Visit my website at JobSearch.Community. Schedule time for coaching with me by becoming an insider at any of the levels of service there. We're real clear about what you get at each tier level. So again, that's JobSearch.Community. Whichever level you choose, you get access to all the video courses, all the books, all the guides to job search that I have available on the site. So again, that's JobSearch.Community. And again, let me just scroll up for this. Connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. Have a terrific day, and most importantly, be great. Take care.